And Larry Feldman live.
If you look at the last 4 years again, we've answered 41 million phone calls for dealers over the last 4 years with our AI platform. We've also handled over 150 million text messages. And so when you look at just those raw numbers, that's a 4-to-1, 3.5, 4-to-1 text to phone call. So I don't know. Here's what I can tell you though. I believe that the customer wants to be met where they are presently. If that is text, voice, video call, if they want to be engaged and engaged instantly.
I've been fortunate enough to be using Numa since square one, but my opinion, I like to meet the customers where they are, because if I choose my preference in terms of how I want to communicate with people, I'm going to eliminate a large portion of my potential customers. The customer calls in from the outside. There doesn't have to be a person on the other side of the conversation, and it will be a transcribed, recorded transcription of the message, which is important, and it's real time, 365 days a year. So we don't lose anything. The customers that prefer the phone and the customers that prefer the text may be two different people, but the nice thing about like Numa as an example is you got both of those people in one spot.
Good. How about you?
Good evening. Good welcome.
Sheila, good to see you.
Good to see you, Russell.
Good to see you, Russell. I saw lots of posts today. I guess you were in service departments.
Excuse me?
You were in service departments, or someone was posting you were in service departments?
Yeah, maybe my team. I don't know who did what.
There was lots of posts in service departments.
Oh, okay. Well, we have a new initiative. We got some new people, and I have to look. I saw something in my Slack, so I probably just need to get caught up. So when people say, "Hey, I saw your post today," I say, "Oh yeah, well, cool. Thank you very much."
Just letting you know, just in case someone asks. I worked for a company years ago. I did all the social media posts, and the owners would get these people calling, and they're like, "Oh yeah, great post." They're like, "What post was that?" That was funny. Mr. Larry, the one and the only, what's going on?
I just had a hi, Sheila. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Sheila.
I just had a absolutely fabulous day with a really funny coincidence. You'll see the posting soon. I looks like Woodstock from the air.
Wow.
People in this teeny weeny little room training them, and I was mentioning several times that the key to being successful in auto sales isn't waiting for somebody to walk in, a stranger with an ad in their hand, but to work on prospecting and get repeat referral business. So as I'm saying this, Ian, you can't make this stuff up. I have my phone on the desk, but silent in case one of the managers wants to pull somebody out. And I see it's a guy from Flowood, Mississippi, where I just was 3 weeks ago, month ago, whatever it was. And the guy gets on and he says, "Larry, do you have a minute?" So I tell the class, "Hold on." And he says, the Hyundai rep was down. And I showed him the picture of the room. I had 25 people and how many people we got hired. And he wants to know if you can help in Shreveport at a Hyundai dealer. I said, "Man, I'll go to Mars. I like meeting people, and no problem."
Yeah.
So long story short, how cool is it that I'm telling people that it's all about repeat referral, and here comes a guy call me on repeat referral. So I guess if you keep pounding away and you keep doing the right thing, despite some frustrations and some incompetence along the way, you can have some fun and get some damn things accomplished.
And I got a lead for you, Larry. You should reach out to me tomorrow.
Why wait till tomorrow? The heck with everybody else. Let me go. Let's do it right. Let's do it right away. By the way, for anybody that's curious, I know, Wendy, you like to doodle on the wall where Larry is, although that's Rhonda's thing. Where's Larry? I'm heading to Kutztown next week, and then I'm going to Palm Beach, Florida, and then I'm going to Manassas, Virginia. And in between that, the band's playing a couple shows. I'm going to play some tennis. I'm going to see if my wife remembers what I look like. And of course, every Friday I keep Mike Larkin and Gary Soman company.
So
Larry, we need to touch base and make sure you go see the Auto Giants boys when you're in Manassas.
Wendy, as soon as we're done the podcast and I get done talking to Ian, I'll talk to you.
Cool.
Sheila and Russell and Abdul, do you have any referrals for me? Because if not, I got to boot. You know, I'm getting
I got
greedy in
you,
my
Larry.
age.
I got you.
We got you, Larry.
I like that. And here's Mr. David Rosick. David, you have instructed Rhonda how to expand my reach and grasp, and I am chasing managers all over the place for 5-star reviews and doing exactly what you told me to do. I'm married, so I'm used to taking careful instructions.
I am too, but I don't take those instructions very well myself.
Well, you know, I tell people in class that women, you got to deal with the women more than the men because Bruce Springsteen is a liar. He calls himself the boss. The boss is Mrs. Springsteen. So I'll take you at your word, my good and great friend.
But that I can agree with, though. Most of the bosses in my life are women.
Okay. You notice I got him to turn around real quick there, Sheila? My mental instability draws other people in. I'm like a carrier of mental illness.
I just don't always listen to my wife.
oh.
And the bad news is we're taping this, Mr. Rosa.
And it's going out live, so she might hear about it. I don't
It's
know.
okay. She never watches anything I'm in. She hates AI. She hates the car business. So I'm safe.
Oh, okay. No
I
worries.
don't listen to my wife either. Oh wait, I don't
How
know.
long have you been married, David?
Well, it depends on which time you want to count that I was married to her.
This one.
So same one. It's just let's see. We've known each other since she was 17.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's been over 35 years. So yeah.
Sheila, in case
But we
you're not
took a
married,
10-year
you
break
now know
from
the
each other.
secret to a happy marriage. Ignore each other.
Well, I mean, we do kind of sleep separate now that we're older. But that's by design. I just
That
fall
was
asleep
that
anyway.
was TMI. This is legal sales. We only want interesting sex stories, not separated sex stories. Right, Larkin?
Yes, sir.
I may be in and out though. I got to run and let my St. Bernard Foster back in the house. So I gave it up.
No problem. Always good to see you. And Ron and I are following your plan. Very grateful to you, David. You've been very kind to help guide me in the right direction.
Any way I can help.
So,
And Wendy, I will call you right after the show. I'm so hot, it's frightening. Everybody I talk to wants to hire me. Although, Russell, I did confirm that none of these establishments pay me to come, they pay me to leave, which is perfectly understandable getting to know.
Of course it is.
all right. So we have Sheila on. How's your week going?
What's up, Ian? I am having maybe as good of a week as Larry.
That's good.
Wendy knows we had a session, a seminar type of thing last week, and I had 6 demos today. My head is spinning.
Wow.
I got like 7 tomorrow. I have 14 total this week.
Is that from the deal last week?
Yeah, the summit that you helped me plug on your podcast. Actually, it went off like gangbusters.
Yeah, I was trying to go to that, and then I wasn't allowed. So
it's going to be bigger next year. I promise you, Russell. You'll.
No, it was no vendors.
Sponsors. And let me tell you, a big part of the conversation was fixed operations. We had a Ford Direct person there, and they were talking about just what me and you and all of us have been talking about. Like, that's the future, and they're paying attention to it now. So we need to get you in there.
You know what we should do? We should do a human side of AI panel next year and sponsor and collectively become a sponsor. Like, give them money to go, but then that'd be cool, Sheila. It really would, with marketing and with David and Russell and everybody else that here. I mean, we've got all the things covered from fix to BDC to marketing to AI to you name it.
The biggest draw was that it's explicit rules, no pitching.
Yeah.
So it was just an educational session.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That went, and like the energy was so good because of that. It was relaxed. Everyone was supportive. Like, I learned a lot. It really was awesome. I'm still riding that.
That's awesome.
Definitely.
Really
That is awesome.
I could tell from your photos, and I was so glad to see that some of those people were there. So happy you got Sandy there, and where the heck is she today?
Oh my gosh. I'm in love with Sandy. We mind melded.
You met her here?
We had connected. She was at NADA, so she connected with our team, but this was the first time I met her in person. And literally we were like finishing each other's sentences. I was like, where have you been my whole life?
Sandy's an email, you guys.
Yeah, well, we had the highest attended HR show in 7 years on Monday, which was how to find service technicians. We had over 100 people sign up.
Wow.
For an HR show, which is like unheard of. Like generally it's like 5.
Wow. I mean, yeah, she is a badass, and she knows how to cut a rug and have a good time as well. So we were really excited to have her.
If anyone needs a high level Ford Direct contact, I am connected to the CEO of Ford Direct, so let me know.
I would love to connect.
So let me know. I know others, but she runs the show, so it's all good.
Yeah.
So Wendy, how was your week?
Really good. God, it's gone really, really fast. I don't know, just really good. Lots of really great conversations, lots of things in the works, different things. We're doing more enterprise stuff, and it's, I don't know, a lot of training, a lot of content creation, because I'm working on my own brand theater. And nobody really knows. Everybody knows Wendy, but nobody really knows what Wendy does or what Wendy knows. So I figured it's about time to get my own damn brand theater started. And I've had my head down just creating content and stuff and training courses and that kind of stuff. And yeah, fun week.
Mr. Michael Arkin, the one and the only. How's your week going?
What's up with you, everybody? Yeah, my week has been quite eventful. I talked to John Ellis yesterday, and with what we're doing with the AI journalist is you got to put in the right our website for it to go through the website and get the categories that certain people were interviewing or expert in. And he and I made a mistake yesterday. We put in agileauto.com. Well, his website is agileauto.io. So when he was interviewed, they were saying, hey, could you tell us about auto repair? And he's like, I don't know auto repair. So he did the interview like a good sport that he is, but he called me right back and goes, what the heck did we do? But it was
You're breaking up.
Interviewing me on back and revisit this. So and he does a great job at the auto market. What's the economy doing and everything that affects dealerships. So we put in the right website, and he goes, yeah, now I'm familiar with all these. So we got him to do another interview, and so it's all good. But those are the important things that when you're programming this into a system, make sure you use the right website.
Wow, you're like breaking up the whole time. What happened?
For your experts, because if not, yeah, what is it talking about? So,
understood. Mr. Rozek.
It's all good.
Your bandwidth is a little dicey, man, but go ahead, David.
You talking about Mr. Mike's bandwidth?
Yeah, it was like
you were in and out, Michael. You were totally
it's like dial-up or something.
We had a
It looked like you were having fun.
like Steve Austin on the Biotic Man. He's breaking. What is it? You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
100%.
I look like I'm going in slow motion, but I'm running 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, you were. You were definitely running in there were gaps, but it was all good.
We just filled in the gaps.
It's all good. We got the gist.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
playing
David.
with AI. So my week, I don't know. figuring out why people screw people over on websites, figuring out why agencies sometimes and vendors just want to sell a product rather than fix the whys for the dealer, and think that that's not my job to help them with their blind spots. I mean, I don't know. I've just run into that more and more, not only with my own agency, but other people. And it seems like, I think that when you're helping dealers, you have to be passionate about what their whys are and what their needs are and actually fix what you say you're going to fix.
Yeah.
And a lot of times in marketing, I can fix things and I can throw leads and I can just spend your money, but I don't need to spend your money because sometimes leads aren't always the answer. I mean, we think they are, but our capacity is not really always able to handle it. Just like on the fixed side, you can have a capacity in your shop to take X, but if it's not set up properly in X time, it doesn't matter what AI scheduling tool or BDC person is, you're going to frustrate the customer and set them up for stuff farther out. And the farther you push people out, the more likely that they're not going to show up. And sometimes you have that room, and I'll give you an example. I went to get my oil changed, and I tried to do it with their AI for my wife's car, and I tried multiple times. And then all I did is I got pissed, and I just drove over there, and I pulled in and said, hey, I tried to schedule online to get oil changed. Just said, we can get you in about an hour. Do you want to wait, or can we take you home? And I'm like, how come it isn't that simple just to do that online or to talk to a person? Because I tried talking to a person, no go, right? So it's just looking at issues like that. Where does it drop? What happens on our websites with digital retailing? How it fails when people get to the showroom? How we do stupid things on our website where we go, oh, our remote BDC sucks because their text marketing game really sucks. And I go to their website and I look at their contact form and I go, well, guys, in all your contact forms on your website, you don't require a customer to give you a phone. So let's think about this. I said, let me look at all your leads. So I analyzed all their leads who came in through their contact form and the digital retailing and everything else. And I said, it's funny. I'm looking at all these forms and 37% of every lead that's sent into you has no phone number. I said, all you have to do is require them. And not only that, it would filter out the bad leads for the good leads. So then, it's just little things like that people fail to inspect stuff. Like, for example, on Russell's pages, one of the worst things that dealers do is they set up a page like this and they don't go, here's all my op codes, so that when we process it, we can do a matchback of how many people use that coupon, how many people called and took advantage of that. Instead, what do? They just write them up for retail without the coupon. And, the funny thing about it is I looked at 9 deals like that at a dealer with Russell's product, and 6 of them were people that came in with the coupon. That's why they came in. But the dealer never gave them the $20 discount.
Oh my God.
They still paid the regular price. And you know what the messed up thing is? Now, everybody there got a podium review, and the average customer wrote a good review. Only 1 out of them wrote a bad review and says they didn't give me my coupon. So then I went to the GM and the service manager, and I said, hey, you really owe this person 20% off. You want to fix it? Well, maybe we'll give them credit on the next one.
No.
I said, you know what? That's fucked up.
Yeah,
and
that is.
It's stuff like that it's like, oh, they just smile and go, we got one over on them. No. How much is it going to cost you in the future? But, this whole week, all I've been doing is really just chaos to clarity shit. It's looking at stuff on a website that's messed up, looking at lead process that's messed up, and looking at the agency process from my new role and kind of looking at a team that says, hey, Dave, you told them to fix this, this, and this, and they're working on that now, but they're not giving us the information we need. And I said, well, that's all great. And they said, well, maybe you shouldn't help them as much. And I said, well, but how do I amplify our marketing to be effective? How do I not tell them that they need to require a customer to give us their phone number so that your remote BDC works? But they're like, well, then, Dave, maybe we should charge them a consulting fee every time you go in and help the dealer. And I'm like, but aren't you their agency? Shouldn't you already?
Let me tell you what. If they did that every time, you know what, David? You do David better than anybody else. And you stay, that's the kind of stuff that just makes me sick to my stomach. Okay.
I know.
And even that 20% off, it's like, that's a defining moment. When something happened at a restaurant with food or something like that,
Yep.
and they ask and they're genuine, and I let them know something is really wrong here, and I pause, I wait to see what's going to happen. That is a defining moment. They can either overcome it or they can blow it. And most of the time they blow it.
Russell,
I almost got
they
mad.
blow it. And David and Russell, the reason they blow it is people are bad at math.
Well,
And they
they
don't
just don't
understand
know.
the value of a customer over the lifetime and all the people they can recommend and refer. You've all heard me say it, quote my own damn book. They're not annoyances, they're annuities. I think we'll all agree one of our problems with society now is everybody thinks short term. You got to think long term because you don't want to just be in business today. You want to be in business in a year and 5 or 10.
But we think that way, that's why we're passionate and we're aligned with each other, and why we like being around each other, because we all think the same way. We want to under deliver and over commit. That's what we want to do.
Yeah,
the other way around. Excuse me.
The other way around.
The other way around. Yeah.
That's dyslexic there.
Okay. I mean, I knew what you meant.
Under promise, over deliver. We got you.
But seriously, it's just wonderful identifying these things and trying to help people. And I think that maybe that's why I do like breaking shit on AI and other products so much, and figuring out their flaws so that I don't have those problems for the dealers that I help. Disconnects I guess are part of life, and I just kind of roll with them, and I don't get really too upset with them, and I move on. But I find that the dealers I work with, you can make the slightest mistake with a vendor and they will just be like, oh, they're fired. And I'm just like, oh, here we go again. Yeah. And it's just, they will literally just fire
and
somebody
you know what?
out of emotion.
I got to say this. I like you doing what you're doing, breaking stuff and finding out, because I have learned so much from you and your banter back and forth, some of which, like this morning with Brian Kramer. And I didn't listen to it all because something came up and you asked him a question, and I don't know how it ended up, but that and the stuff on the human side of it, I love that stuff, man. I mean, that makes you a very special individual, David.
Well, I appreciate that. But I had some help from Michael and Gretchen. We're in there, and Wendy was up there and some other folks. And, we just started talking and nerding out a little bit. Of course, it made us late for David Sparks' show, but we got a little nerdy, and I didn't have to. I mean, I love listening to Alex and Brad, but sometimes it gets a little repetitive. There's different people always coming into the room, so they got to hear from them, and they got to listen to their tutelage, because they're very spot on guys. But after you hear it 10 times, it's refreshing that Brian.
How many times?
Talking about? Well, probably 20, maybe 30. But realistically, though, I mean, I'm their fans, and I'm everybody's fan that's on this podcast. But sometimes I repeat stuff a lot, because after my stroke, sometimes I don't realize if I said something. My daughters think I'm always talking down to them because I'm repeating stuff. But I guess for my mind, I need that clarity. And then it allows me to sometimes write it down, record everything I heard, and then I play it back. I always have good intentions to talk to each one of you. I love talking to Michael Larkin, but that doesn't mean I don't fall asleep in the middle of him teaching. Sorry, Michael.
Try to be a third wheel in that conversation. Talk about not having a freaking clue. Like I jumped in late, but could you just, what's going on with Meta and Google? Meta, they're having a big fight. They're like championship wrestling.
No, it's just I think because.
And I apologize that I came in late and jumped in, because I'm reading all the stuff that you and Brian are going back and forth on, and I'm like, Mike Larkin taught me what EEAT was, and now I'm like, oh no, please don't move the cheese.
What I think what's really happening is that a lot of people, you got X amount of the pie, right? And you got X amount of people looking at Google, X amount of people that were looking at Meta, Twitter, and all these other places, right? But what happens when the large language models get in there, they start taking a piece of that pie. So a part of the people doing a Google search or a meta search has to go to the large language models now, right? So we're in this zero-click world. But the people that are taking the most effect of it is really probably Google, because the large language models are taking a part of that. And because of that, Meta is having a bigger voice, and they're actually making more money right now because their ad value and ad space mean more, because it's a different person that scrolls through stuff than that searches through stuff. One is more of a branding and storytelling and makes you want to do something, and it guides you. Yeah, sorry, there goes the dogs. The other one is more, I need something, so I'm searching and doing my research. So I think that there's more people on social media than ever before. And I don't know what the exact numbers are. So I think that Facebook and Meta are starting to actually earn more money than Google is. Now, I don't know about that being factual, because Google owns a lot of different things. I don't know that if they really think about it.
I don't think so, but yeah.
If you take YouTube into account, I think what they're doing is they're just looking at the AdWords spend. Are people spending more money on Google? Are they spending more money on Meta? Well, technically, there's more people spending stuff on Meta, more money than ever before. Yeah. But we've also realized in automotive that it costs less to advertise on Meta. And those retargeting ads that follow you around are branding. And for a lot of people, Meta is their TV commercial. You know, there's OTT and streaming, there's Comcast. You know, I love watching WGN in the morning. And I see the advertisements for some of the local dealers, right? But I got to tell you, I really do like, you know, going into my social feeds and seeing what's going on for the day. You know, whether TikTok is not factual or Instagram on some of it, I just go in there and I see some things. I see some stuff that people liked for my post. And then I get caught up in some type of ad. You know, who was it? Jake. What's Jake's, like, car guy Jake or something? He popped up on my channel and he was like sponsoring and selling some product. Before I know it, I'm looking up going, man, do I want to buy that? Because Jake is selling it. You know, so I mean, I guess more things influence you now on social media to buy things than ever before. So I think that there's more ad dollars getting spent on the Meta side right now, for automotive at least, that I know of. LinkedIn, though, is actually getting indexed on a higher level with citations than ever before, organically. So all of our LinkedIn posts that we're putting up there is starting to get scanned by AI a lot more. So, but I don't think Google's in a battle with Facebook, because actually they have a partnership. They're actually trying to work together to control the market, because OpenAI and all the other AI platforms are taking away business of theirs. So for
what
the
do you
first
hear
time,
about TikTok, David?
Yeah. What do I think about TikTok?
What are you hearing about it? With those numbers,
I got a mixed reviews, because when you talk to the TikTok guys, TikTok is better than Meta, and it's better than everything else, and it's better than Twitter, right? But I think TikTok kind of derailed itself a little bit with their algorithm, simply because the U.S. government made them be U.S. only, and they had to have it to where we're monitoring stuff. So I like the oversight, don't get me wrong, but I just think that TikTok kind of lost a little bit of its algorithm. You know, they're still very aggressive. I mean,
because it got bought out, so it changed.
My wife just walked by. She's the biggest TikTok fan in the world.
Yeah, mine too.
I mean, my wife and all the women in my family and all my siblings, they're just all TikTok people.
I can't stand it. I'll get on there and look at one or two things, and it's a freaking hour and a half later. I'm done. I just don't like it.
It is a time waste for me.
Death scroll is what it is called. Death scroll.
And from a paid standpoint, I just really don't see any conversion there. I think it's all organic content that we want to look at. Like, I used to have one for my techs, and the only people that we would get in the audience is other technicians that wanted to see the bays and everything like that. It's not going to sell.
I don't have any luck with paid advertising on TikTok.
Yeah.
What about the emergence of all the lives by our industry car peeps lately? And how they're all picking out a different night and supporting one another and dueling rooms, dueling lives. What do you see with that, Sheila or David? Or...
I think for employee branding, employer branding, and just getting your name out there, it's good. But again, the people that are in it is us. Like you're not talking to your car buyers on there necessarily.
I mean, those people, some people, you know, they have a following and they have a channel and, you know, and they come up, and I think it's just consistency. And I think a lot of times it's luck, you know, but I will say that people that have Meta accounts do get a lot of AI engagement. And I think with AI, rather than our dealer pages, individuals rank higher on a lot of their content for some reason. Like if you put a reel on your personal page, and you put a decent amount of content with it, and you're consistent to keep talking about that, it seems like AI finds you in the area before it finds the dealership organically on a lot of posts. But you have to do it on like multiple things. You have to like do something in LinkedIn, you have to put it on YouTube, you have to put it on your Facebook channel. And then if you're smart, you have somebody like Michael Larkin, you know, use his Brian AI to build you a couple articles and toss something on Reddit. So it just seems like you're making this big constellation of points to say Sheila's the authority on this. And I think the problem though is that people stop being consistent. And now with AI, it's consuming AI so fast. It's like you have to update your stuff every 30 days. I could be wrong. What do you think about that, Michael Larkin?
Can you guys hear me, or am I cutting out still?
You're still cutting out, but it's fun watching you.
When you guys go silent, I get nervous.
I know.
Oh, you're like a Chinese movie right now. Your lips are moving and it's not making the same.
It's not matching. Yeah, it's not matching. It's like you have
Yeah. And I have a lot of Chinese friends, and it's so funny.
You didn't know I know karate.
Okay, that was good. We could see the same words. We could hear the same words that we saw on your lips, right, Gary?
Yeah, that one wasn't bad.
It was okay. I give that a 6.
As we feed
7.
Mike Larkin vocal cues, Christian, don't forget, and Abdul, don't forget to jump in when you get a minute, guys. You know we love to hear from everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, Abdul, I always owe you a phone call.
No problem. No, I'm just healing, so I'm just hearing. I had an eye procedure, so this week I was down, so just missed you guys last week. So it's great to listen to the friends and all of that. Keep on going, guys. Thank you, gals.
Christian?
Well, I to answer your question, it's before the AI became like everybody knew about ChatGPT 3 years ago. It was follow the algorithms, and Google's changing from raccoon to zebra, and all that, and just a multitude of confusion. Now it's as simple as connecting the dots. And if you do it right, you end up with a beautiful picture.
And your connection of the dots may be different than my connection of the dots on a topic. Anybody can be an authority of anything. You could be, you know, Larry's an authority on sales training and let's say culture, but Sheila's an expert on social media, and maybe on retention, on lease retention, and doing different types of marketing ads. Wendy's an expert on BDC. Right. So we all have our expertise. I may say, you know, how do we understand this on warranties, and how do you understand training an F&I manager? So I may go to Gary on it. So each of us have our ability to be an expert, I think, with AI, but quicker than ever before, just if we do connect those dots. So I'm excited every once in a while when I play with AI and I manipulate it and I watch it and go, hey, that's interesting. I just became the expert in this and in the top 1%. And only because I asked the question.
Right.
So,
right.
That's the thing. We have the same.
Well, forgive me. I'm going to be short, Wendy.
No, go ahead.
I was saying this morning in the clubhouse room, AI cannot create EI.
No.
What's EI? Expert intelligence. The expert intelligence has got to come from the expert. So that's why we're doing this kind of interviews of experts so that they can express their expertise and we can follow the EEAT, what the search engines want. We're basing that on the keywords that people are typing in to find a product, service, or company. So it's connecting the dots.
Matrix.
Twilight Zone.
But it's using AI to. So, but
Mike, you're having a challenge.
You're having a technical moment. He's frozen completely now.
I feel like I'm having too much fun with you, Mike, because you
The show we're apolitical in the show, since we always talk about Republicans. Mike is doing a tremendous impression of Joe Biden.
So long as it's not Kamala. When did
No, you're not drunk.
Okay.
No, I was just gonna say the same as David said. We have the same galaxy, right? We have the same constellations. We're just mapping them out differently. You know, Little Bigger Dipper versus Big Dipper. You're looking at different stars and you're aligning them differently and mapping them out. But it's the same choices, but our own experience, our own bodies of knowledge kind of guides us in a different route that's a little bit more subjective. And I think the end result is a beautiful collaboration.
Yeah, I think people forget about offsite SEO though for their website. It's just as important to have citations and articles on things like Reddit and other places talking about it. It's just as important not to be on one podcast and have, certain content. It's great to have your own, but it's sometimes great to be a guest on somebody else's and we have a conversation and talk about it. It's the same thing. We just need to brand on multiple platforms to be the everything button that, people want us to be. I think we forget that these AI questions are coming from regular customers. So we need to just think about, how does a regular customer ask a question about how to buy a car? I don't think those questions have changed. Larry, since you're a little bit ancient, you probably know those questions. I mean, what's a customer's average question in buying a car? How much is the car? Do you have this car? Is it available? I mean, there's only so many questions when somebody calls a BDC agent. Yeah.
David, one of the best tips I've gotten, exactly what you're talking about to your point, was from a Hyundai OEM. And she suggested an FAQ page on your site that answers those exact questions. And you can literally go into the chat and be like, what are you looking for when people are shopping for and whatever your service is? Y'all should try, if you haven't already, get into ChatGPT and ask them about your company, or ask them, I'm looking for some fixed op specific marketing. Who's the best company around? And see what they spit out. It's a step that you can do to kind of position you in the market that all dealers should be doing and all agencies should be doing. It's a very
that's brilliant, because I think everybody, even our high IQ tech guys like David, like Michael, get frustrated because it's so damn hard to get any intelligent information from anybody. Half the time you can't talk to a human being, or you get 5 prompts and then they hang up on you. I mean, Staples had it right with the big easy button. So the more simplistic you make it, the easier it is. I tell people all the time, when I'm in Florida, when I'm in Philly, I stop at a Wawa. If there's no parking spaces, I go down 3 blocks and there's another Wawa. If we don't make it easy for people, they'll find somebody that will make it easy for them. That's a great idea.
I mean, that's how you close a deal in a showroom. You just make everything easy for the customer. You get to the point to help them get where they're at, and you just help them with the purchase as fast as you can. Some people you need to explain a little bit and take them down a path, but very rarely you just want to simplify stuff. That's why I take a TO. It's like, stop going back and forth. Let me just get involved and let's just make a deal.
David, I explained today that the misnomer with closing is people think closing a deal means you screwed it up and now the manager comes in and tells a joke or asks them where their family went to school. I think you start closing the deal when you say, welcome to, here's who I am.
Right.
If it doesn't start right, it's usually not going to end right.
Right. I agree.
We put I'm glad you brought that up. We put too much emphasis on the close. Did you close them? Are you a closer? I got this at NADA. I mean, closer, right? It says closer. So, I mean, that's all we talk about though is closing when it's the 500 things you do before it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, Mike Tyson, he was a knockout boxer, but you had Floyd Mayweather, he was just doing jabs all the time. It's kind of like, he was scoring all these little points. We score all these little points early by doing a good meet and greet, by doing all these little things, and then the close is the last action we do. And so because it's the last action we do, we put way too much emphasis on it. No different than like a football team. The guy that carries the football in is usually the one that gets all the glory. And I think we do our industry actually a disservice by putting so much influence and so much emphasis on that. And then it makes people, I'm not a closer, am I a closer? You nailed it. It's following that whole process right. It's not one thing you do right. It's 500 things you did right.
Right. And I think assuming the sale is the big part though too. Sorry to interrupt, but I don't remember majority of the times where I ever really needed a lot of times a TO, but I would still just do it out of respect. Most of the time I was just having a customer and I went over everything. I asked them to buy, I got my 3 yeses on a test drive. I asked him my transition question. I told him to follow me, sat him down, got him a drink. We're happy. And I wrote everything up and said, okay, go ahead and sign there. And most of the time, people just signed with me. And I'm like, wow, that's always so easy. And I would have so much anxiety, though. And I would go back to the desk, and they'd be like, okay, you need me to come in? I'm like, no, it's already signed. And they'd look at me all the time. They're like, oh, you're just a really good closer. And I'm like, no, I just really do my job. And most people that are coming here are referrals. And I've already sent them information on the car. I've already pulled up the car. I just try to help them.
Well,
I'm not trying to sell them.
You don't want them to screw up your deal.
Because
you already had it wrapped up nice and neat. And by bringing in somebody different, screws it all up. I mean, it's you don't want that. Christian just triggered me on something, but think about this. And we were talking about closing. It's no wonder why the service drives are abandoned, is because the taste in most customers' mouth that got closed, they don't want to come back to that dealership. They did not have an enjoyable experience. So if you didn't give them an enjoyable experience, why do you think the service department's going to do something different? So what everybody just said out here, closing ruins relationships. It's time to figure out, turn the script and make deals. Like David said, he was all wrapped up. He already worked the used car manager and got the best amount for the trade. He already worked the F&I manager and doesn't need anybody to come in there and screw up his deal. And that's where dealers need to refocus and recalibrate how they operate, because they still are operating like 20 years ago, and the customer has gone. So the future is so much, I see the future is so much less hostile and more educating, and as everybody's saying, connecting the dots.
Gary, when you're done, Russell's had his hand up, and I can see his furrowed brow. He's ready with something.
Oh, here we go.
I'll land my plane with.
No, this is for Sheila. Said something a minute ago, and I wanted one of y'all to chime in. So I went to chat. I was curious if my company would even come up, and I said, "Who actually provides educational videos built into service coupons for my website?" And it said Fixed Ops Marketing.
God bless you.
Go charity.
But my question is it because I'm on my chat? And would it be different with somebody else's chat?
It could be different from my point of view than your point of view. And it depends on, if it's ChatGPT, Perplexity, or Gronk.
Right.
But realistically, your AI knows you. It knows your searches. It knows where you do your research at. So if you're
I'll try it, Russell.
Okay.
Yeah, so Sheila needs to try it now. Because
Use ChatGPT or what?
Yeah, who actually provide? I'll just copy what I did and put it in the chat, and
Yeah,
then
put
you
it in the
tell
chat.
me. Or now.
But I only think it's 2 companies that do that. Do what you do, Russell.
Yeah,
it's just Fixed Op Marketing and Fixed Ops Digital,
and they're not around anymore, and
they're under trade pending though, right?
Yeah, and they're not even educational anyway, but they're just.
Congratulations, Fixed Ops Marketing #1. Reunion Marketing #2, Pro Drive. A Simp Social 3. So big data, big digital traffic. So I just ran it through my Chat GPT.
Thank you, Gary. What about you, Sheila?
So it's asking me. It says I don't have any information about your website or the services integrated into it. Did you ask as a dealer, Gary?
I just asked who has the best fixed ops marketing for dealerships.
Let me try that.
I just left it as like a pretty generic. But Sheila, what you mentioned, I've been focusing on the greater Hartford market. And I've been posting who is the #1 dealer in the greater Hartford market. And boy, it goes and it grabs Polk data. It goes and finds, and so when you want to do research now, that is an awesome suggestion of what you just said.
#1 for 2026, Fixed Ops Marketing is arguably the most specialized.
Nice.
Yeah. So I was reading further here. It said the companies that stand out in fixed ops, different strengths, is Fixed Ops Marketing, Revolution, Parts. But it says these are focused on service offers, coupons, etc. And then there's a special little thing going. This is where you see in bold biggest direct impact on service revenue. I love that.
Hey Sheila, would you check on me? Pull up mentally deranged trainers and recruiters. Let's see.
Yeah, who should you absolutely not work with in the automotive space because he's nuts and Larry is #1.
It pulls up what?
I should be #1. Who should you avoid in the automotive space? And Larry comes up right at the top.
They're finally getting their act together. They know how to avoid the Tasmanian devil. I love it.
Word got around. Yeah.
Okay, let me ask. Since it's not my chat but yours, ask it if it knows who Russell B. Hill is. Do you know who Russell B. Hill is?
Russell, take a second to read the chat. I put what you asked in perplexity.ai, and I got everything about your company and about you.
Oh.
Wow. And I'm using Claude, and the same thing. It says he's a managing partner for Fixed Ops Marketing. He began his career as a salesman at Tyson Buick in 1985.
That's right.
His way up to GM at Competition Chrysler Jeep. They got a whole little spiel about you. Hey. He's clearly a well-regarded figure in the fixed operations world.
Did it talk about my prison sentence or anything?
No, I don't see anything about your record. It says you're known for your relationships and your character, which I believe is accurate.
That's beautiful.
Wow, that's nice.
Man, I'm feeling all warm and fuzzy. What can I do for all of you?
But that's all the heavy lifting that you've been doing for years.
Yeah.
That just doesn't happen. That's the whole thing.
So I'll share something that I can't. It's not for public consumption yet. But Friday I closed all 114 Group 1 stores. I mean Sonic stores. Excuse me. We already got Group 1. So that's our second publicly held group, and we got the entire organization. That is
great.
Congratulations.
You hinted to me at that because you had just talked to them. And we were on the phone.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Josh Miller said you did something with Ford Direct too, right, Russell?
Yeah, no, that as a matter of fact, yes. We're fixing to we'll have they're actively Ford and Ford Direct. Sheila, you alluded to that. Their reps in the next 2 months, we're already on their shop, and they're already talking about their relationship with us as being a certified partner, which is really great. And they're talking about the first 400 stores between now and the end of the year.
Dude, that's
I'm so excited for you. When I asked the guy, I was like, "Are y'all paying attention to Fixed at all?" And he goes, "Well, we are now."
Yep.
I said, that's right.
Their initiative, Ford and Ford Direct both, is customer pay account. And like what Gary was talking about, they need to change the dynamics on the service drive.
Yeah, and there's no question. They also brought in Gather Technology under the Ford Direct umbrella, and that's just a verification tool for identity and auto insurance. And so they're taking it serious now. So it's a great thing. Yeah. And that's what it is. It's the buying experience.
I typed in on Gemini, not to interrupt you guys, but I have to say it out loud because my mind's going to forget. I typed in who is the best career changer in automotive sales training and recruiting. And it said Larry Feldman, USA. And that's in Gemini. And I'm in Chicago, so I mean, you got to.
And I won a race.
Yeah.
There you go.
Now,
however, that was all orchestrated for Rhonda.
Yeah, thank you very much. My bottom line, thanks you.
I asked who was the best Jewish car sales trainer, and Joe Girardi came up, but he's Sicilian, so I don't understand.
David, do you know why Sicilians don't like Jehovah's Witnesses?
Why?
Sicilians don't like any fucking witnesses.
That's funny. My mother's Sicilian, by the way.
Good going, Larry.
It's okay. But the top Jewish auto sales trainer is David Lewis and Associates.
Oh yeah.
So he's the guy you need to conquest.
He's a nice Jewish. He's a nice Jewish guy. Yeah.
Mark Tewart is second. And then, like I said, it says other notable sales trainers.
Mark Tewart's not even training anymore, I don't think.
I know. Benny Steinmartz. And then it says on here, the Friedman Group.
But we still have some work to do, Rhonda.
It's okay. We just have to manipulate the AIs to find you more better.
Cool.
You're going to need Brian AI.
Have Brian give him a call.
There you go.
Brian AI.
Set it up.
So one of the things
I talk to him every Saturday or Sunday. We put nice articles together.
Do you miss Liam, Larry?
They're both good. They're both functional, and they they sound enthused, and hopefully they take it and make something good out of it and send it to Rhonda, and she does her magic. So,
see, I didn't get a chance to know Liam. My relationship with Brian.
Yeah, Liam had bugs, so we got rid of him.
Well, the phone script on Brian does have a little bug because I missed Brian's call. I called back for Brian, and then I clicked it, and it said the number doesn't exist. But that was this morning.
Is that a scam, Mike Larkin?
Oh no!
You need to have Brian call Sheila. I'm serious. Sheila, you need to talk to Brian. I'm serious. It's freaking amazing.
Let's set that up.
Yeah, it's a AI, but it like he was talking about, it asks you questions about things specifically that you are extremely knowledgeable in, and the content it puts out is freaking amazing. Yep. Seriously.
Yeah. It'll say Sheila, hi, I'm Brian. I wanted to ask you some questions, and they give you 3 categories to choose from.
Yeah.
And you get to pick, or if you don't like any of the 3, they'll give you 3 more, and then once it's completed, it's about 2 minutes. Then they'll ask you for a second one, and then they'll send the raw information to you to use or to edit. But it's very effective. Mike's done a hell of a job with it.
Nice.
Yeah, we're a matter of fact, I'm seeing the full review that this next incoming week on Brian. But the stuff I saw, the articles, they were like right on. As a matter of fact, I think I even interrupted him and said, "Hold on, Brian, I need to add something else," and he let me do it. So,
hey, did you see the video? The 30-40 second video that Mike built for me, I just posted where we took a few of my snippets and I built like a 45-second video of me explaining my idea. So it's very cool. Mike's very good at doing this. He can do it really quick now. So thank you, Michael.
Actually, thank everybody on this damn program, because everybody's one purpose is to help the other person. And that's a pretty nice way to roll.
Yes, it is.
We got 6 minutes left. We haven't heard from Abdul. We haven't heard from Christian. We haven't heard from Gary, really. Or Wendy, really.
Wendy, Christian,
A couple
let's see
things.
what you got. We appreciate you.
Couple things this week. We're talking about kind of what happened this week. Finished up a fundamentals of automotive sales with a dealer here in town. Kind of put a bow tie on that one. Getting ready to trying to coordinate in May. Doing an advanced one here at a local, not a local, but a dealer within about an hour, which is local enough.
That's awesome.
Crazy week trying to get as much as I can done. I'm having shoulder surgery on Friday. I've had both rotator cuffs done. They're going to redo this one and go clean it up a little bit.
What's that from? Just so you don't mind me asking.
Just probably Taekwondo, probably that, blocking kicks and stuff like that. Yeah. And then, it's interesting. So, hey, anybody APA founding members, I know we got a couple on tomorrow night. A special program with this gal, Kathy Ford. She's awesome.
Yes.
I interviewed her for an hour. Yeah, she's awesome. I interviewed her for an hour, to do this. And usually when I do those, it's only like 15, 20 minutes, to MC it. But she was so fun to talk to. I just kept talking to her. She's going to basically tell us how to hire VAs or virtual assistants. But I mean, she's just a dynamic person, and she's got 3 different companies. She's got this real estate company, her sons, and they flip houses, $22 million in real estate sales. She's a serial entrepreneur, so she's just a pretty cool chick. But if you're interested in learning more about virtual assistants and hiring those, she's going to tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah, 6:30 to 8 Central Time Zone, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Cool. I'd highly recommend it. I will not be there. No,
you'll get a recording of it too. The other thing I was going to ask y'all is, I was at a dealership today, a Chevy dealership. What's going on with Chevy inventory? Anybody know? It seems like I've been to 3 stores here locally, and they're really low on inventory.
Yeah.
So when the tariffs happened, you understand that the SUVs that are the breadwinners right now, the small SUVs, so the Trax, the Trailblazer, Blazer, a lot of those vehicles are made really in Korea.
Mexico? Oh, Korea.
Yeah, Korea. So I mean, those Korean built vehicles that got hit with the tariffs. So, people in Korea said, well, okay, we can build these same vehicles and we can send them to other countries rather than the United States that are also needing inventory. So, they limited the amount because they didn't jack up the prices on us, as much as other brands, but they did restrict the inventory that they were going to send to the United States. And that's really what's happening in the background on the manufacturing side for my family that actually work in the manufacturing plants is what they were talking about. But there also has been some issues on some part recalls too. And there is some parts as well that are hit with tariffs and more expenses. And they started renegotiating with some of the General Motors and Korean lines. So that hurt in really the past 6 months. But my understanding is they're starting to, send more of that product. The other thing though is that if you're a smart dealer, you're out buying inventory from, resellers, even if you're paying invoice for the car, because you want to try to build that allocation. For every 3 to 5 cars you sell, you're going to get X amount of bonus cars on top of it. And most dealers don't play that game. They're just thinking about, well, I'll just wait until I get something. And those relationships that we used to have with those reps, they don't happen anymore. You can't just take them out to lunch and go, hey, let's go golf. Let's go here and give me a couple extra cars. They're really not that way anymore. So it's very automated based on your CSI, based on your turn, so, General Motors, they're just not as personalized, I don't think, as they used to be with their reps.
Yeah, no, the GM reps used to have a lot of clout. Not anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's what I'm seeing because I have 4 Chevy dealers I consult with locally, and they're all sucking on inventory. One guy that I know in Grays Lake, though, he went out and bought 100 units.
That's what I suggested. The one I was at today, I'm like, there's 4, you got 3 of you here. I mean, one of you could have all the cars, and you know what I mean? You'd have all the business, and like you said, with the allocation.
But here's what happened, though, because we didn't have that inventory when people needed it, they jumped to other brands. And because of the fact that, you also had some service issues, and we're not trying to jump through hoops and help people with these situations. Not only that, but even the Chevrolets, you're seeing an average negative equity of $7,300 on the trade-ins. You know, so it's like, where do we offset that money? So the average Chevy buyer, you know, unless, you know, I mean, their trucks are expensive. A lot of SUVs are expensive, but they still want to buy a vehicle that's under $30,000. And when you're 7G flipped, you know, what do you do with that? I mean, you can only max it out so much. But I mean, I could be wrong, but I think that I see that through the 4 guys that I'm consulting with right now. They're all having issues. They're all having great used car months, though. And everybody wants to buy an EV again all of a sudden, or sell an EV. So go figure.
You know, I was having a conversation with one of my GMs yesterday about the acquisitions team, because I have agents on their acquisitions team. And we were talking about the struggle and whether the selling cycle is 30 days or 60 days or whatever it is. And, you know, he's believing and talking to a lot of people that they've done all their research. They've tried to do a number of different things so that by the time they're listing their vehicles or reaching out, they're ready to transact. But what I wonder, because when my guys are off or they go to lunch or whatever, I cover the leads myself. And I have a lot of conversations where there's so much negative equity out there. I wonder if people are trying to sell their vehicles outright rather than trade them in, because they're trying to get out of unmanageable car payments and lease payments. And they don't realize that there are financing options and that it's easier to flip them into a different vehicle that might be an older unit that has a lesser invoice price or a pre-owned or whatever, but they're just not aware of that. And the reason I mentioned that is to say that, David, this lends credibility more to what you're talking about how LinkedIn is the place where like AI is searching for answers. And I was also thinking earlier, to follow me here, I'm going not really down a rabbit hole. It's a complex thought. So stay with me for a second, you too, Sheila. So I think that part of it is that the idea that you said that the content's generated on LinkedIn, which I always said that's where the cool kids hang out. And a lot of all things car biz people are on Facebook, they don't come to LinkedIn. So we're doing all this content creation to lend material knowledge base to our brand theater, to our no-click results, blah, 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 right? That's going to appear in other places. That's going to circle back and cite LinkedIn articles. That's going to bring them back to LinkedIn as organic lead gen for us as content creators in LinkedIn. And if we start educating, again, to the Dealer Profitability Summit, if we start educating our dealers and our shoppers instead of pitching them, then that's going to broadcast our own brand stuff and what we know, and we're going to get organic lead gen. What do you think about that as a closing thought?
I mean, I think LinkedIn is a great place for certain things. I don't always think that LinkedIn is the best place to sell a car, but it's a great place to educate people how to trade out of their car, maybe, you know, how to buy a car.
I'm talking about your article, relevant to your article that you posted, where you said LinkedIn was.
Well, yeah, I get that. And it is to a point for us, maybe, for the people trying to brand themselves. And, you know, for us, LinkedIn is a great thing. For dealers, to a point, it's great to educate the masses with it too. And it's being cited. But it's not just LinkedIn, it's everything. Social media, actually, between you and I, is a bigger impact, but you have to know the content game too. I mean, if you're posting something on Reddit, it should be between 500 and 2,000 plus words and shouldn't be a bunch of plagiarized stuff. If you're doing something on Facebook, if you're going to post about something, at least have 8 words, 12 words in a short sentence. If you're just going to, just don't put one word, you know what I mean? Put a sentence or two of
Hey,
something.
it's
gotta run.
It's 7:03. It's family time now. So if everyone told you all that they loved you and appreciated you did, Russell Hill just did. Okay.
We love you too, Russell.
Okay, man. Thank you.
Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping the industry get better today live.